Okay, well, January was its own breed. It was different. I started out this year really fucking good. I think, no, not I think, I know the reading gods felt bad for my terrible December reading month, and they I don't know, like they put crack in the books that I read this month because holy shit, I had an amazing reading month. So, yeah, and if you didn't, I'm sorry, but I'm glad I'm not you. I read 17 books this month. Now, before you come for me in the comments or anything like that, yes, I am a slow reader and I stand by that. But let me defend myself, and I'm only going to say this once. I will explain myself and then I'm not going to repeat it. Okay? First of all, there are a handful of these books that I read that were audiobooks. So there you go. That's number 1, audiobooks. Number 2, some of these books were only like 200 something pages. So that's obviously a small book, okay? And number 3, these books were so good that I couldn't put them down. So once I started, I couldn't put them down. And for people who are fast readers or who can at least read faster than me, because I do know people who can read faster than me, like obviously no shit, but like my friend who is, I only got one friend who's a reader, like oh my god, but anyway, she is a fast reader, and whereas she can finish like a 400 something page book in like 3 hours, it would take me 16 hours or whatever. So there you go. Like obviously there is a difference, and my reading was slow. So there you go. Keep that in mind too, please. And wait, was that my third reason? I think so. Number 4, I don't have a life, okay? Aside from going to classes and doing my homework, I don't have a fucking life, okay? I don't do shit, okay? I don't. So I have all the time in the world to read when I don't have anything school related to do. So, with that being said, that is my defense and it is valid. So, yes, I am a slow reader, but keep in mind everything that I just said because that is why I read so much this month. That is rare, okay? 17 books, that's not going to happen again, at least not anytime soon. It's not, okay? There's 2 books on this list that I didn't read in January. I read them at the very end of December, but I was counting it for January because I was like, no, I'm not counting it for December. That's Acotar, A Court of Thorns and Roses, and A Court of Mist and Fury. Those 2 books I read right before January 1st, but I'm counting them for January. So I guess technically we're talking about 19 books. 19 books, but but Akatar 1 and 2, I read them in December. Paulton is here, of course, always representing. He's always here. I read A Court of Thorns and Roses. I read Akatar. So here you go. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about these books because there is a reading vlog. It's not out yet. We're not going to discuss that. Who knows when I actually edit it. But there is a reading vlog that one day will grace this channel. I don't know when, but it's there. It exists. So with that being said, A Court of Thorns and Roses, I gave 4 stars. All these books, every single book in this series, I gave 4 stars. This was also a 4-star, but this was like my favorite in the series. This was number 1 for me. This is number 2. Like the first 2 books are my favorite. So, yeah, if that doesn't make sense to you, well, that's your problem, not mine. I understand my star rating system. It's not for anybody else to understand because, well, it's how I process things in life. Well, not in life. It's not that serious, but it's how I process things in the book world. For me, personally, it is not your business how I rate stars, nor is it my business how you rate stars. Fuck, I don't know why I'm so defensive over that. I'm being so dramatic. It's 12 a.m. Why do I film most of my videos at 12 a.m.? Maybe that's the reason why. Okay, anyway, this entire series was 4 stars for me. I really, really, really enjoyed it. There were some things that no, never mind. Unscratch that. I won't say that. But yeah, anyway, I really enjoyed it. And yeah, so the first two books, these two books I did read in December. I finished A Court of Mist and Fury like on December 31st. So I was about to say Christmas Eve. New Year's Eve. So there you go. The first book of the year though was A Court of Wings and Ruins. Again, like I said, like this was a 4-star for me. I really did like it. It was heavy on the politics, but again, that also makes sense because there was a lot of war going on in this book. So there you go. Like even A Court of Frost and Starlight, again, this was a 4-star. I wasn't expecting it to be because this is a Christmas novella. I wasn't expecting much from this because like what the fuck, like there's nothing important in this book really. So I was surprised by how much I enjoyed it. So yeah, and then A Court of Silver Flames, again another 4-star. Cassian and Nesta, love them. Enemies to Lovers, again, like listen, this series was really really good. I liked it. I also, unfortunately, I don't want to because this video is going to be long enough anyway. So I'm trying not to spend too much time talking about Acotar, especially since they have their own video. Oh, by the way, these were all audiobooks. Yes, these were all audiobooks. I listened to all these books, audiobooks, okay? There is no way in hell I would have been able to finish these books. Like, how it would have taken me my entire winter break, which I was home for like a month. It would have taken me like a month to finish all 5 books, but I was able to get through them faster because of the audiobooks. I got through them in like 2 weeks because of the audiobooks. So there you go. The Monster Trilogy. Now listen, I don't remember which video it was. Was it November wrap up? It would have been the November wrap up video. I read the first book and I did not like it that much. I struggled. I didn't DNF it, but I struggled. I wanted to. But I felt bad because I didn't really give the second book or the third book a chance. And I did say in that video, I believe that I wanted to go back and try it again. I don't know if I said that. Maybe I did. I don't remember. Whatever. But anyway, I feel bad. So what did I do? I got the audiobooks. I didn't reread the first book because listen, I still did remember the gist of what happened in the first book. Like it was still pretty fresh in my brain, so I don't feel like I had to do that. So I got the second book, the audiobook, and the third one, and I listened to that, and oh gosh. First of all, the audiobooks are really good. They're duet. So Lies of My Monster is number 2, Heart of My Monster is number 3. And listen, Linda, the audiobooks are so good. I enjoyed this trilogy so much. Like I would actually now reread because I would reread that trilogy. I mean, the next time I would buy the audiobook for the first book, like it was so good. Like I kid you not, I was laughing while I was reading. I was reading with my eyes, but I was also listening with my ears. I was laughing. I couldn't put the books down. It was so good. So yeah, I'm so glad I gave the books a second chance because oh boy, like I had a time. It was so good. Okay. I gave the second book 4 stars, and I believe I gave the third book 4 stars as well. Yes, I did. But I did enjoy the second book a little more than the third. So the Monster Trilogy really it's kind of in a way Mulan, like not Mulan, but like in some ways it'll definitely remind you of Mulan if you watched the movie, because Sasha, the FMC, is pretending to be a man in the mafia, and she is Kirell's bodyguard, which of course he knows, but yeah, not a lot of people know. So there you go. So but she is his bodyguard or whatever, and she's trying to get information because she thinks that he or his family killed her family. So there you go. So that's all I'm going to say. It was really good. Next, Priest by Sierra Simone. Okay, this book was good. I liked it. What did I give it? Was it I think I gave it a 4-star. Yes, I did. Okay. Yes, I gave it a 4-star. I read Sinner back in November, and I wanted to read Priest and Saint because they're all a part of a trilogy, and I just never got to the other two books. So I read them. I read them this month though, Priest and Saint, and Priest is the first book. And I will say it was my least favorite out of the trilogy, but it was still good. Like I said, I gave it a 4-star. I mean, I will say there is insta love, which I thought the insta love was a little weird. It didn't ruin the story for me. I still read it and I still enjoyed it, but if you don't like insta love, then yeah, you probably won't like this book. This is called Priest. Listen, he's a priest who breaks his vows. There you go. That's all you need to know. And I gave it 4 stars. So there you go. Next, I read Saint. That's the third book. And that's okay. Also, this was 4 stars. I really enjoyed this book. For the trilogy, for me, how I rank it, because Sinner is still number 1. Like, come on. Sean and Senny, no, they're number 1. Then it's Saint, then it's Priest. So there you go. Sinner was 5 stars. So, but anyway, Saint. We're talking about Saint. So this is an MM romance. By the way, this was my first MM romance, and oh my gosh, okay, kickstarted. What is it? Is that what it's called? Kickstarted. That's what I'm gonna say. It kickstarted a bunch of MM romances after that. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. So I ate this book up. It was so good. I loved it. It's a second chance romance. Well, I'm forgetting his name. Damn it. Hold on. I think his name. I know his name. Oh man, why am I forgetting? I know his name. Well, this is annoying. Aiden. There you go. Aiden. Okay. Aiden Bell. He is a monk. So, again, he breaks his oath. Like, he does things that monks aren't supposed to do. And he does it with the other MMC, Elijah. So, there you go. I loved this book. It was really good. It just listen. It took me into a completely different direction. Oh my God. I started binging MM books for like a week straight. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. I said, okay, no, I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. To Catch a Firefly by Emmy Sanders. Listen. This is one of my favorite MM books. Granted, I haven't read that many, and I've only started reading MM books like a couple of weeks ago, but like I can say this will always be one of my favorites. Oh my God, if you want yearning, if you want pining, if you want a feel good, wholesome romance, childhood best friends to lovers, this is your book. Oh my God. And also the pining is mutual, but neither one of them knows that the other one's pining for them. But listen, this book, Best Friends to Lovers, is one of my favorite book tropes, and this book reminded me heavily why I love this trope so much. Like, it's so good. This book is so good. Like, I highly recommend this book, and I always will, because it's just so, like, oh, Ellis and Lucky, they're so cute. And I mean, you can't go wrong with this book, okay? You just can't. You can't, okay? And also, one of the MMCs, so Ellis, he is neurodivergent. So you do get some neurodivergent representation. And yeah, oh my God, like this book. Read it, please. It was so good. I missed them. I finished this book and I missed them. So, oh, I forgot to say. Also, Priest and Saint. Again, those were audiobooks as well, okay? Those were audiobooks. Once I finished this book, I missed them so much that I was trying to catch the feelings, the similar vibes that this book gave me. So I went on TikTok, I was looking for recommendations that were similar to this, and that led me to You're My Home by You're My Home by Katie Moore. Okay, this was also an audiobook, by the way. Another audiobook, okay? Yes, You're My Home by Katie Moore. This book was also good. I believe I gave this, I don't think it was a oh my god, wait. By the way, this is 4 stars. I gave it a 3.9 on Goodreads. Okay, so there you go. It's very, very close to a 4 star. So in some ways, yes, You're My Home. It is similar to Catch a Firefly in some ways because, again, it's the childhood best friends to the lovers, the yearning, the pining. It's there, okay? This book was a little bit longer. It was like 400 something pages, I think, a little over. Well, no, that's kind of average, but okay, whatever. Anyway, it was a slow burn. So yeah, what was I gonna say? There was something about this book. Yeah, those are really the similarities between To Catch a Firefly and this book. Other than that, they are very, very different. Like, yeah, like You're My Home does deal with some, I would say there's definitely more homophobia that happens in this book and abuse, physical abuse. So this book I would say was a little more heavier. I don't think To Catch a Firefly, not really. Like, I mean, it had some moments that were not the best, but You're My Home definitely was a little bit at times more darker. So there's that. But this book was really good. It was good, but my whole thing was though is that I got to the point to where I kind of got a little bored because it's over 400 something pages, I believe, if my memory is serving me correctly, and it was a slow burn, and I was starting to get bored, but like I did care about these characters and I wanted to see them progress into like being in a relationship, so I got the audiobook. Because here's the thing, like I would be reading that book for hours and I would be like, oh, I probably read like, I don't know, 50 pages or so, or a little more than that. But I was like, no, I only read like 30. So I was like, okay, I feel like I'm gonna want to DNF this, so I got the audiobook. So yeah, there you go. Now, this is my my only 5 star book of January. It is, honestly, it might be a all-time favorite now. It's definitely number 1 on my MM books, like my favorite MM books. Like To Catch a Firefly is number 2, but The Tragedy of Felix and Jake, number 1. Like these are my boys. Oh my god, I love them. First of all, like Felix, he is definitely a new favorite character for me, like a bookish character. I don't really go around having favorite characters. Like I can have favorite books or all that, but it's actually rare when I actually like, ooh, a new favorite bookish character or whatever. Like even if I love the character a lot, I don't typically have favorite book characters. So, but Felix, oh no, Felix, he is a new favorite book character for me. He is special. He is baby girl. I love him. I love Jake too, but like Felix? Okay. Grumpy Sunshine, Friends to Lovers, like oh, the banter. They're so cute. They're so funny. And okay, listen, I was originally scared to pick up this book because hello, the title is very it's like, oh no, this is probably gonna be a book where like, well, they won't get a happy ending because there you go. Tragedy is quite literally in the fucking title. So I was like, no, I'm gonna stay away from this book. I'll never fucking read this. Well, for some reason, something possessed me one day. I went on the website, on the author's website or something. No, I went on Amazon and I clicked on this book and I checked. It said it does have a happy ending. So I was like, okay. So I read it. And yes, listen, Jake and Felix do have to work for their happy ending. Like, they do go through some stuff. It is emotional. So, yeah. I mean, listen, more people have cried reading this book than I have. Like, I picked up this book hoping that I would cry because I'm actually in the mood for pain because I am a masochist because, well, I am dead inside. I cried once briefly, but I know other people like sobbed. So like I said, I'm dead inside. But hey, I still enjoyed this book very, 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 very much. So there you go, like 5 fucking stars. Oh, what was the point? I had another point for something. No, I didn't. Jake and Felix, they're addicts. Jake and Felix meet at a meeting, and Felix offers to be Jake's sponsor, right? And obviously, so it's got some like forbidden aspects to it because obviously, like a sponsor and a sponsee, well, that's not a good idea to get involved with each other. But of course, well, they did. And listen, like I said, they had to work for their happy ending. But oh God, it's so good. It's so good. And Felix is so funny. And he's so cute. Like, okay, also he does the old fashioned heart emojis. I don't know, which I wouldn't have known. I'm 19. I don't know how old you are, but I didn't know. But okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway, sorry. Oh my God, can you see? Oh my God. Oh my God. Were you able to see the TV the whole time? Fuck. Well, ignore that. As you can see, that was Pretty Little Liars. So, um, there you go. Oh, okay, yes. Felix, there's so many things that I love about this man. Like, okay, first of all, he loves physical contact, like cuddling, holding hands. He will find any excuse to like touch Jake. Like when they're walking on the sidewalk, this was like in the beginning too. Like when they're walking on the sidewalk and like Jake moves slightly to give him more space. No, Felix will immediately like drag him back. So they're like their arms are touching the whole time. Like he just always likes touching Jake. I don't know. Listen, it's a lot cuter than it sounds. Like I promise. Like oh my God, Felix is sunshine. Jake is grumpy. But Jake, he's a sweetie too. He is. Anyway, I love this book. It was so good. Like I immediately got obsessed. Like I started the book, right, as one does, and I would go to class, take notes, sit there, listen to my professor. Well, not really, but because I could only think about them. Like literally, I was physically in class, but I was mentally not there. I was so checked out. I was literally only thinking about them. Like they took up my brain cells. And then when I finished the book, well, a few days later, I reread it from start to finish. So there you go. There you go. 5 stars. And then next on the list, after I read The Tragedy of Felix and Jake, I read Until I Saw You by Dianna Roman. Okay, listen. This book was also really good. I binged it as well. Yeah. It was a short read, if I'm remembering correctly. I think this was one of the shorter books. I don't remember exactly, but I think it was. It wasn't that. Let me see. Yeah, 246 pages. Listen, this was so good. I binged this as well. Okay, so one of the MMCs, his name is Riley. He is blind, permanently blind from an accident that happened before the book started. And Harper is what's the word? What is the word? Caregiver. There we go. He is a caregiver. Takes care of, well, Riley. There you go. Okay. Yeah, but okay. You would think though it would kind of be the other way around, like where maybe Harper would be the more sunshiny one. No, it was Riley. Like this guy, Riley. I mean, he's just a ball of positive energy, you know? And Harper, not saying that he was grumpy, he wasn't grumpy, but just because of like a lot of trauma that happened to him in the past with an ex, he wasn't grumpy, but he wasn't sunshiny either. Okay, he was not. He was not. So yeah, this book this book was really sweet. It was really cute, and just seeing them fall in love and just I don't know, it was really good. So yeah, obviously Harper, not obviously, you don't know. Well, maybe you do know, you read the book, but yeah. Anyway, so Harper is his caregiver, right? Because he's low on money, he's got no money, and so the agency assigns him to Riley to take care of him. And Riley has been a difficult patient, but it worked out. It worked out with those those two. So yeah, he goes to live with Riley, and well, yeah, the rest is history. The rest is history. Yeah, this book was really good. There's also moments where it does touch on some dark topics. Again, like I said, I wait, did I? Did I? Harper had an abusive ex. So yeah, there are moments where it touches on some darker stuff, but this book was really sweet. So yeah, I highly recommend it. I believe I gave it 4 stars. Yes, I did. I did give it 4 stars. For the Fans by Nyla K. Now, okay. I gave this a 3-star. It isn't one of my favorites, but I do understand why a lot of people love this book. I do understand. Hey, 3 stars is still really good. 3 stars. 3 stars means to me that I would still recommend it. So there you go. This is Step Siblings. Okay. romance, Step Siblings, enemies to lovers, college romance. Oh my god, it was good. It was good. Okay, it was good. How many times am I gonna say that? So yeah, and when I say enemies, they hated each other. So yeah, or at least they were pretending to. But yeah, so really how this book starts is that their parents run out of money, and the stepbrothers are in an expensive school. They're in college. Well, college is expensive in general. I mean, especially me who live in America. Um, so yeah, they're in college, so they need money. And so, well, what do? Well, they start an OnlyFans together. And there you go. The rest is history. The rest is truly history. They fall in love, and the people become obsessed with them because, well, not only what they do on the OnlyFans, because but also just like seeing them fall in love and interact, like people were eating that up. Okay, so yeah, that's basically the premise of that book. It was good. I would recommend it. So yeah, 3 stars. Oh yes. Okay. Now I fear there will never be a month where I don't DNF at least one book, but the fact that I only DNF'd one book is pretty fucking good because I basically DNF'd like 1,000 books in December because that's not at all untrue. Like, that's not at all dramatic. I mean, listen, Paulton told me to DNF this book. Okay? He was like, you don't care enough about this book. I sure hell don't care enough about this book to tell you about it. And so we DNF'd it together. It was an executive decision. Wait, what? I didn't executive decision. There we go. So yeah, Dared by Becca Steele. This is another romance. I thought I was really going to love this book. I was disappointed that I didn't because, well, it's a friends to lovers romance. What else? Is that all? Yeah, I guess that's all. And I do love friends to lovers. So yeah, I just didn't care. I didn't care enough. I was kind of bored. It's a short book and I didn't finish it. I didn't care enough. So there you go. It gets no ratings. Yeah, DNFs get no ratings. Okay, anyway, A Love Letter to Whiskey, the 5th edition specifically. Okay, and I did listen to this on an audiobook because I got the feeling that I was probably going to DNF this book. So I got the audiobook. And hey, what did I rate this? Was it 3 stars or was it, I feel like, was it over 3 stars? I gave it 3 stars. Okay, yeah. First of all, I thought I was going to dislike this book when I started it because, well, I heard it's messy. I heard it's messy. But again, like I said earlier that I wanted to read books that were going to provoke an emotion in me. Yeah. Well, this did provoke irritation in me, but I didn't cry. So I'm looking for a book to make me cry. So yeah. Anyway, I did enjoy it more than I thought I would because I thought I would hate it. But hey, 3 stars, that's good. That's a good rating. So yeah. Anyway, this book literally it's literally like right person, wrong time. Like literally that's like the whole premise of the book. Like literally, right person, wrong time. For like what, a decade? Or something like that. Like you got the miscommunication, you got the cheating Trump, not on each other. You got the well, you got other shit. Okay, listen. This book is definitely not for everybody because it is frustrating and it may frustrate you more than me. I don't know, but it's not for everybody. But I did enjoy it, so here I am recommending it. So yeah. Oh, it does have friends to lovers too, by the way. So, yeah. Yeah, they are toxic, but hey, I mean, fuck, they really had to work for their happy ending. They worked for it. So, yeah. Okay, next. Okay. Listen. I have been wanting to read this series since November, and I finally fucking did. I mean, I'm not done with the last book, but the other 3 books I read, the North Shore series by Lola King. Oh my god, I see what Larry means by this series. It is so fucking good. Honestly, like I want those books on my bookshelf. One day I'll buy them, but oh my god, the North Shore series is so good. Okay, like literally, Beautiful Fiend, I gave 4 stars. Heartless Beloved, I gave 4 stars. Delightful Sins surprised the hell out of me because I don't even like white shoes. I thought I was gonna fucking hate that book because it's a white shoes, but also because the characters, the main characters in those books, they annoyed the shit out of me when I met them in the first book and the second book. But I actually gave that book a 3.9 rating. So there you go. And I'm on the last book. I'm not done with it, but it's probably going to be a 4 star. So yeah, it's either going to be a 4 star or it's going to be a 3.9, just like Delightful Sins. So yeah, but anyway, the point is though, is that this series is really good. And overall, it's a 4 star for me, and I would reread this entire series. So fucking good, okay? And now, like, I want to read all of Lola King's books, except Rose's Duet, but like all the other ones, I want to read because, like, huh? Like, they're so good, okay? Like, Beautiful Fiend, enemies to lovers, okay? Rival gangs. The MMC, Caden King, listen, that man is deranged. He is deranged. He is obsessed and he is unapologetic about it, okay? He blackmails the FMC to do something for him and his crew. So if something goes wrong, she takes the fall for it and him and his crew can get away with it. But of course, during that time, while he is blackmailing her and she's doing the thing that she has to do, he becomes more obsessed with her, so obsessed that he texts her every day timestamps of songs that remind him of her. Okay, like listen, that book was really good. Okay, and then Heartless Beloved, the second book in the series, that was my favorite. I mean, listen, it's also a 4 star, but like again, my 4 stars mean different things. Okay, Heartless Beloved, bad boy, good girl. I mean, total opposites. I mean, you got the MMC who's in a rival gang. He doesn't come from a lot of money, but then you got the good girl who comes from a rich family. She lives in a nice neighborhood. I mean, they are different, okay? She's good. She's a Swiftie. She loves the color pink. He becomes so obsessed with her that he also like I mean, he listened to all of Taylor Swift's albums so he could understand her better. He painted his door pink for her. He wears a pink bracelet every day because she made it for him. He's so obsessed that he has this need to protect her at all costs. And keep in mind, you guys, he kidnapped her actually. That in the beginning of the book. So there you go. That's not a spoiler. It's in the very beginning. That's how like the story like takes off. So there you go. Like, oh, this book was so good. Okay. And now Delightful Sins. This was a 3.9. I binged all these books. Okay. Like, listen, I couldn't put them down. Like I said, I thought I was gonna hate this book because both of the MMCs and the FMC, like I did not like them. I met them in the first book and in the second book, and I did not like them. So there's that. And again, it's a trope that I don't like. Why choose? So I was going in expecting to hate this book, but no, I actually enjoyed it. I liked it, and I gave it a 3.9. So there you go. Now my whole thing is though, like, whereas in Beautiful Fiend and in Heartless Beloved, I loved both of the FMCs and both of the MMCs. Like, I loved the main characters. Now, the main characters in Delightful Sins, I don't love them. I like them, but I don't love them. So there you go. Therefore, they can never be a 4-star. So there you go. So, this story, Delightful Sins, it starts with like them hunting her because she portrayed them. She ran away and they are hunting her and they found her. And listen, one of the MMCs, he's a master manipulator. He manipulates everything and everyone under the sun to have her. And the other MMC is a serial killer and he kills anybody that has ever hurt her or flirts with her. Oh, and by the way, both of the MMCs are brothers. So there you go. They share her. So, yeah. Boy, am I surprised by how much I enjoyed the book. And again, I can't really rate Lawless God because I'm still currently reading it. But I want to say it'll probably be a 4-star, but that's an unofficial rating. I'll let you know in my February wrap up because it is now February. So yeah, I'll let you know in my February wrap up next month what is my official rating for this book. So I just talked about all these books. Man, January was what a ride, okay? Like that reading month was so fucking rare. I'm not expecting February to be that good. Like I'm kind of scared. Like I'm gonna have like a downfall, like a humbling experience. I guess we'll see. But I listen, the reading gods were sorry. They made it up for me. My reading month was so bad in December. I mean, I did bitch about it. I mean, listen, that video, yeah. So they felt bad. They made it up because that was a different breed. I'm telling you. And if you are still here watching, thank you for being here, of course. I appreciate you being here and I hope you enjoyed the video. And argue with a wall if you're upset about how many books I read. I meant argue with a block of cheese. I am still the slow reader. I explained myself, okay? I hope your January reading month was good. And I hope your February reading month is good as well. So, bye!